What's up, guys? First of all, thank you for watching if you're watching. And the reason for this video is that I was going through things personally that I feel like have a benefit to me. And also, like, I've learned things about myself that I think have a benefit to other people, especially in these really trying times. And by that I mean, like, I up until today have just been in a really toxic place mentally and financially and in a lot of ways. And some good things happened, and it really reminded me about how important having a good mentality is. And when it comes to what I think I have to offer you guys who are watching this in terms of these trying times with the coronavirus, like, I want to talk about optimism. And by optimism, I don't mean like everything's going to be great, but I think people misunderstand optimism as meaning that. And when I talk about optimism, I mean basically that whatever bad things happen, like some equal amount of positive is going to come from it. You know, this is kind of cheesy, but think about the idea of the yin yang, or Newton's law of physics that says for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. You know, that there's a fundamental nature to the universe, that whatever bad happens, there is going to be an equal amount of good. And our lives up to this point have been great. Yeah, as Americans, like when I see people bitch about like the empty shelves and like no toilet paper, like how often do we take that for granted? You know, like for the majority of the world, sanitation's a huge problem. Like a lot of people die because they don't have proper sanitation, and they basically shit in the same water that they have to drink. And we're sitting here like worrying about toilet paper. And again, I'm not saying I'm above it. You know, I love wiping my ass. You know, I don't like wiping my ass with Kleenex. I'm worried I'm going to clog my toilet. It's some real hardcore first world shit. Pun absolutely intended, bitches. But my point is that, like, in my own life, I just thought I was done. I thought I was sunk. I thought I was drowning. And then something happened, and it just made me realize that, like, I was wrong. You know, I was totally wrong. And then I look at the news and I look at about people freaking out on Facebook and all these other areas, and rightfully so. But don't fall into the same trap that I fell into myself, of thinking that everything's all negative or everything's all bad. Like, really try to focus on the positive. And honestly, like, maybe even try to write it down. Like, write down the positives. Like, for instance, quarantine. Like, yeah, that would suck. I can't imagine, like, having to stay inside all day and watch Netflix. LOL, because that's what I do already. That's the joke. But think about it. Like, I remember when I was a kid, like, there was an ice storm, you know, and the power shut down, and a lot of people were forced to stay inside and talk to each other, you know, and a lot of people grew closer because of it. I could feel it after that. You know, everybody came back to school, and we were all closer because we went through that together. And I have that same feeling now with the coronavirus. I understand it's completely different, but in a sense it's not, because it's adversity. And in terms of adversity, like, I know that we're a very privileged culture. Like I said, I know that this is new territory for me. It's new territory for us. We're all freaking out. But think about, like, what we've been through as a species. You know, like 90% of all species that have ever lived have become extinct. Yet we're still here. You know, the fact that I'm here talking on a microphone saying dumb hippie bullshit about yin yang and all, that's amazing. You know, and speaking of yin yang, like, that's one thing that keeps me comforted in times like this, that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Yeah, the action might suck. The action might be disease. The action might be quarantine. The action might be a change of standard of living for the rest of it. But what's the positive reaction to that? Is the positive reaction that we're going to spend more time together? Is the positive reaction that we're going to not take for granted the privilege that we have in terms of the luxury that we have as a country? Like,